Hello, everyone. Happy Monday. Welcome to Never Miss a Monday. I am your host, Stacey Garcia. Welcome to season 4, everyone. I can't believe we're here. I'm super stoked to be here with all of you. We are going to have quite an extraordinary season. I am beyond excited about the lineup for this season. You guys are in for a real treat. We have certain individuals that I have looked up to for years. We have certain individuals that have been a part of my life for a long time and are going to share lots of wisdom. And I have some individuals that I came across that I found super intriguing, and they are going to blow us away. I am just really thrilled and excited and thankful to be here with you today. So today I want to talk to you a little bit about trusting yourself, tapping into your intuition with confidence. I want to share a quick personal story about my intuitive journey, which started from the day I was born, like all of us. The other day, the kids started back at school. They're just finishing up their second week of school, and they started back really early. And the first week was just, getting back to the grind, getting back to everything. Second week, I scheduled some time out with Joe to go on my favorite trail. And this is a trail that I started walking weeks after my first surgery, maybe about 2 months after my first surgery when the kids started back at school. And at that time, I was really only walking. That's all I could really do. And I Googled trails near the kids' school because their school has trails all over the place. It's such a beautiful area in their district. And I found this one trail, and I took Joe on it this past week. I have not taken many people on this trail. I took my kids on it for the first time a couple weeks ago. I've taken my cousin Sarah on it. That's it. So Joe was able to carve out some time. We start walking, and I'm just pointing out everything. And I asked him, I was like, try to find my favorite tree, because I always go and visit this one specific tree. This one tree is so magical. And if you ever get the chance to go to it, you will understand why. I've posted so many pictures of it. This tree is just absolutely mystical. And you could tell how old it is and how much wisdom it carries. And it's just beautiful. Anyways, I'm just pointing out left and right. This is where I see my bunnies. We're having a lot of fun. And then at the very end, Joe's like, Stace, this is your healing trail. I was like, you're right. This is my healing trail. There have been so many instances where I gained major clarity on this trail, especially this last year. I've been through so much this past year and a few months, 15 months. It's been so wild, really the last 2 years, but I've really had to tap into my intuition for guidance and really clear all of that excess noise and just really tap in, listen to my body. And I want to just share a quick story with you of how I did listen to my intuition, and it did take me on the right path. And I'll throughout the episode, I will definitely be giving you like bits and pieces of how my intuition and listening and trusting my intuition has really paid off in my life. But this trail, so I was offered this amazing new job, and something in my body with it just wasn't sitting right. It just wasn't sitting right. I tend to meditate every single day, but I also love going through like 21-day challenges, especially with Gabby Bernstein. So my cousin Sarah and I were listening to one of her challenges about, I think it was about intuition, actually, and manifestation. And so this one exercise that she gave me, and I remember exactly where I was on the trail, where I had this aha moment, and it was quiet. It wasn't loud. It wasn't like you're watching a thriller or horror movie and you're like, don't walk through those doors, like close the door, don't go there. It's not loud like that. It was really quiet. And it told me, stick to what you love. That is where, you're going to get to where you want to be if you stick to what you love. Don't go and chase this one job just for a paycheck. It's not aligned with your heart. And I kind of broke down and I was like, oh my God. And I stopped working for that company. And I really dug deep into what I love to do, which is health and wellness. This is my calling. So if you're watching this, you can see, and you see a lot of my photos, I have a necklace. It has 3 ones on it. And we had in season 2, Vanessa Fontana, adore her, most intuitive 25-year-old I think I have ever met. She was wearing a necklace with 3 2s. And I was so caught off guard with that. I was like, wow, that is really, really neat. And, I've studied what each, all the numbers mean. And at this time in my life, I was seeing 1s all day long. And it's just a quiet symbol for me to trust my intuition and just take one step at a time and just follow my intuition. And in my bathroom, on my mirror, when I get ready in the morning, I have a little saying, and it's just telling me to trust my intuition, trust my inner voice. And it's just a little friendly reminder as I start my day. So with that being said, today, everything we're going to talk about is hopefully going to help you reconnect to your inner guidance, your compass, your voice, your intuition, and really learn how to trust it. And I will be providing some real science-backed, tangible steps as we go. All right, let's get started. So, what is our intuition? That's a really great question. What is our intuition? You've heard it so many times in so many different kinds of wording, but it's our inner guidance system. It's something we were born with. Everyone was born intuitive. It's an internal compass that pulls from your subconscious knowledge. That's why meditation really helps bring this out. Quiet really brings this out. It's our life experiences. It's subtle, very subtle cues that your brain picks up on even before your conscious mind can explain them. How many times has that happened? Maybe something's come through a dream where you're like, where did that come from? Like, I didn't even realize, right? It could feel like a gut feeling, just something in your stomach. It can feel like a very gentle nudge in the right direction, or even a really quiet knowing that doesn't always come with logical reasoning, but it still feels deeply and profoundly true. And that's really hard because I think, a lot of us we were all born intuitive. We were intuitive with eating. We're going to have an intuitive nutrition counselor coming on the show later on this season 2, which will be amazing. But we were really intuitive with our diet. We knew when we were full and we just stopped eating. When along the way did that stop? We were always intuitive with everything. So one thing that it's not, because it's really, really hard to differentiate intuition with instinct or what loud thoughts are going on in our brain, loud noises, okay? That's not what this is about. This has nothing to do with fear. This has nothing to do with anxiety, nothing to do with overthinking, which I'm sure a lot of us are great at. And it's not panic. Intuition is none of these. If it feels really loud and really anxious and you've got all these thoughts in your head, that is fear. That is the opposite of what intuition is. But if it's quiet, if it's calm, it's most likely your intuition. It's not about making decisions out of urgency or fear at all. It's not always loud. Like I said, it can be really quiet, really soft. especially if it's being ignored and you're repressing these feelings. So I'm going to give you an example of how my intuition really, really helped me during my cancer journey. So I was diagnosed with breast cancer on May 6th. May 7th, I was already in my surgeon's office giving me all of my different options to beat this. I didn't know what to expect. I did talk to a couple of doctors, not oncologists, not specialists, but just some MDs to kind of get a handle of what I was looking at. And everyone kind of had the same thing, like, oh, you're probably just going to need a lumpectomy and some radiation. No big deal. That's what was in the back of my mind. But I hadn't researched anything. It happened so fast. So my sister, God bless her, knows me so well. And she picked me up to take me to my appointment. And she put on a meditation immediately. It might have already been going on when I sat into her car. I don't even know. I don't remember hugging her or saying hi. Like, I just buckled my seat, closed my eyes. And when the meditation was over, I opened my eyes and we were at Kaiser. Like, it was go time. Those 15 minutes that I had to quiet my mind and to relax really put me in a state where I could hear all the information coming at me so clearly. And I made a decision in the doctor's office that I was going to have a bilateral mastectomy. It was something that I knew I had to do. It was not loud. It was not even out of fear. It was something where when I had my biopsy and they did ultrasounds, they found 2 other spots, I will say. They called them benign. They're like nothing to worry about. Something in my gut told me, I don't know about that. I would feel a whole lot better if I just removed everything. And I did. And when my surgeon got the pathology results 5-6 days after my surgery, he said, I am so glad you listened to your body. So he called my intuition my body. Again, it has so many words. So glad you listened to your body. You made the right decision. They were already precancerous. They were on their way to becoming cancer, and I would have had to have gone through this all again. So I'm telling you, it was just something. And the only way I got to that decision was because I cleared my mind before stepping into that surgeon's office. It was magic. It was intuition, and it led me in the right direction. So think about for a second, what decision in your life right now needs your intuition? Not your fear, your intuition. Next, we're going to talk a little bit more about why do we learn to ignore our intuition, our inner knowing? Well, we don't do this purposely. This is not something that happens. This is conditioning. This is something that, we were born with, and that at some point down the line, from a very young age, someone taught us to not follow the intuition, but to follow trusted authority figures, other adults. Just trust your logic, not how you're feeling, what it says in your head, or any kind of external validation over our internal compass. This could have happened at any age. A lot of time this happens in, school age children, where we really learn to trust our instinct instead of our intuition. And there's so many different reasons for that. And it's different for every single person, but it happens to all of us. And what we're here to do today is really get back to ourselves and get back to the mentality of really trusting our gut. Sometimes for some children, It's the fear of being wrong. What happens when we've done something wrong? Do we get ridiculed? Do we get made fun of? That is something that we'll try not to do, and we'll take any actionable steps so that doesn't happen. Our society is obsessed with logic and productivity. If we rest, God forbid, right? Like, we are such a go, 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 go society. And you look at other countries around the world where they have these rest periods, these siestas, to really, maybe they meditate, maybe they take a short nap, and then they're feeling amazing for the rest of your day. We're not meant to go all day long. We're just not meant to. Sometimes it could have been trauma in our childhood or young adult life, and past mistakes that make us really doubt ourselves. I'm sure so many of us can relate to that. That has happened so many times. Another can be how constant distraction, talk about distraction. This world is full of distraction that pulls us away from our inner voice. I actually saw something the other day that said that watching like scrolling, like mindlessly scrolling and just watching videos and memes and whatever all day long is worse for your brain than like drugs and alcohol. Like, what we're doing to ourselves with all this distraction is not good for brain health whatsoever. It pulls us away from our inner voice. Technology, busy schedules, all of that absolutely drowns out the quiet voice of intuition. So, with that being said, none of us are broken here, okay? This is just something we have all been trained to listen outward instead of inward. But this stops here. This stops now. We are all together going to learn how to trust our intuition from here on out. And I'm going to give you 5 actionable steps right now to start tuning in to your intuition today. And I would love to hear what you're going to start with, what your favorites are. I'll tell you what's worked for me, but here are 5. Create intentional silence. Do any of us always have something going on in the background? Background noise? Is the TV always on? Some people really love background noises, but it doesn't give us the chance to really tap in. 5 to 10 minutes is all you need a day of stillness to help you hear what's going on beneath the mental noise. 5 to 10 minutes. We all have 5 to 10 minutes every single day to commit to quiet. I remember Lainey in the last season, she was talking about how when she cooks, when she drives, it's silent. That is her quiet time. For me, when I'm driving, I love listening to audiobooks or podcasts, but I need stillness and quiet throughout the day. You've heard me talk about exercise snacking, making sure that you have 5 or 10 minutes to like get your exercise in throughout the day, which is so healthy for us. Same thing with silence. It is the same thing. I need to fuel up. I take timeouts. I'm a grown adult and I take timeouts all the time where I'm like, I just need 5 minutes to be with my thoughts. So 5 to 10 minutes a day, pure silence. We got this. Next, name your inner voice. When you feel a pull towards something, ask yourself, is this my intuition? Is this my fear? Or is this someone else's expectations? I am a natural people pleaser. I don't ever want to let people down. And a lot of times I tend to bury my intuition to make someone else happy. I did that for a very long time. And it's not until recently when I've really dug deep to all of these practices and got more in tune with my intuition that I stopped all of that. And I have a much clearer mind since I've done that. So really check in with your body and get to know, is this instinct? Is this fear? Or is this intuition? Do a full body check-in. I love this one. I do body check-ins every day. As a Reiki master, I always am doing Reiki on myself. And I'm like, where do I feel tension in my body? Does this decision I'm making, does it feel heavy? Does it feel light? If it feels light, that's a really good sign you're listening to your intuition. Intuition often feels like clarity, like these aha moments, right? Or really calm, even if the path is really challenging. Number 4, journaling. I love journaling. This is great. Not for everyone. Sometimes it's something that we don't want to do, but it turns out being the best thing for us. But journal with intuitive prompts. Okay. So every day, write something. Number 1, what do I really, really, really want right now? Number 2, what is my gut telling me to do about this? Number 3, if I wasn't afraid, if fear was nowhere near, what would I do? Now, make sure that you journal in a quiet space where you can really listen to your intuition. Okay. Last but not least, reflect on past intuitive hits and misses. These are really important. Reflect on times that you really followed your gut. What happened when you did? Or times you completely ignored it. What were those results? Use that wisdom from previous experiences. So pick one today that you would like to start with. I think that silence is a great place to start, honestly, before you start digging into the rest. Just start being quiet. I told Joe on my quote unquote healing trail, I use this trail sometimes to brainstorm, sometimes to have a mental break where I have no phone and I am just literally with the trees and the birds and the bunnies, and I just need that quiet and calm. And sometimes it's to exercise, right? So I take walks a lot to clear my mind. So really get into the silence, I would say would be a great one to start today, but none of them are wrong. Start with one and then slowly start building these into your practice every single day. And before you know it, you will definitely start realizing and understanding what I am talking about. Right now, it might feel like I have no clue what this girl is talking about, but I'm telling you, once you start digging in, they will all come. So let's talk about some practical tools to strengthen intuition. We have lots of super practical tools. First one is meditation or breath work. I don't want to say and, or I don't want to say or, I want to say and. You really want to do both of these. So I incorporate meditation into my daily practice. I start off with a standing meditation. I used to do a laying down meditation when my alarm went off, and then I most likely fell back asleep. So now I get out of bed right away when I wake up and I go into the living room. And now it feels like fall is coming early this year. The sun obviously is starting to rise a little bit later, and I'm up when the sun is rising and it's quiet and I do a meditation. But it's not a one and done. Breath work needs to be done all throughout the day when we're moving around. I love to breathe in the car. That's kind of like, okay, when I start to drive, I start taking intentional deep breaths. I think it was Lainey had a really good practice of taking deep breaths as she transitioned into another part of her day. So she was going from working Lainey to all of a sudden being mom Lainey, and things were shifting, and she would just take some deep breaths to transition into that. So I think both are incredibly useful. And these practices, all they do is quiet your mind and enhance your connection to your inner wisdom. So make sure that you breathe and meditate every single day. There's amazing ways. YouTube has tons of guided meditations. You can even just put on some relaxing music and focus on your breath. It doesn't have to be anything. And start off really slow. Just start off for a couple minutes. Work your way up. You don't have to sit down for 20 minutes in a Shavasana pose and just breathe if you're not used to it. No, please start off with like 1 or 2 minutes, and gradually you are going to crave it and you're going to want to meditate more. Walking without distractions is one of the hardest things to do. We take our phones everywhere. What if we left it home? What if we just left our phone home and went outside and let your thoughts wander and just notice what comes up? One of my favorite things to do is take a walk after dinner. It's been really hot, but yesterday the temperature dropped a lot. And all of a sudden I was like, kids, get your shoes on. We're going outside. And we went out without any technology for a half an hour and had the best time and the best conversation. But this doesn't mean always walk with someone. Walking with people is amazing, but really just like let yourself be. Just walk. You'll be amazed at what comes to your mind when you're walking. Let your thoughts wander and notice what comes up. It's one of my favorite, literally one of my favorite things to do. Another one is dream journaling. A lot of us, our intuition speaks through our dreams. I am one of those people. I need to dream journal. I do not, but if you can recall, if you listened to my first episode, I talked about when we found our lump, it was from a massive nightmare that I had. And it was something that startled me to my core. I don't ever have dreams like that. It was literally my body saying, wake up. And I was diagnosed with breast cancer not long after that. I do get a lot of messages in my dreams, and start thinking about that as you have these amazing dreams. I know kids wake up like, oh, I had the craziest dream. Well, let's hear it. Let's hear about that dream. So start journaling dreams. You never know what will come up from that. Another one that I personally love is tarot cards. I have a deck that I've had for 7 years, I think, and they're animal spirit cards, and I am obsessed with those. I have used those on so many friends and family. They're great as a reflective tool. We're not looking for answers, but it kind of prompts us into our intuitive insights, and it gets us thinking. So definitely think about investing in some cards. They're a lot of fun. And last, doing some body scans before making really big decisions. Practice regularly. So do these all the time, even if you don't have a decision that needs to be made right now, just getting used to your body and noticing physical responses that happen when making decisions. Our body is so connected to our mind in so many ways, and your body will speak up sometimes before your mind does. So really tuning into your body is incredibly important. So with all that being said, just know that you can find that intuition again. All it takes is quiet, is curiosity, and trust. We can all go back to our authentic selves. I've been on the journey for a long time, and I couldn't be more excited for those of you that are on that journey with me. It's a really amazing journey filled with just a lot of amazing moments. It really, really is. I can't wait to hear about one small intuitive decision that you've made this week. I would love to hear about your practices. Try journaling. Find out what your intuition is telling you right now. So from my heart to yours, thank you so much for listening, for being on this journey with me through getting back to our authentic self, to finding our intuition once again, our inner compass. It's all within us. We're never alone. We always have our intuition. If you loved this episode today, please subscribe, leave a review. I love to read reviews on Apple Podcasts, and tell us what you thought about this, and reach out on Instagram. I would love to get this conversation going even longer. So thank you so much for listening. I cannot wait to see you next Monday and all of the Mondays thereafter. This is going to be such a great season, and thank you for being a part of it.